Good morning, students. Today we are going to see Unit 5 application layer. Unit 5 consists of 5 chapters. Chapter 1 Client Server Programming. Chapter 2 World Wide Web and HTTP. Chapter 3 File Transfer Protocol. Chapter 4 Electronic Mail. Chapter 5 Domain Name System. Today we are going to see Client Server Programming. First, introduction to application layer. What is the application layer? It is the 7th layer in the OSI model, as we already know, isn't it? Application layer is the 7th layer in the OS layer, and it provides services to the user. This is also we know already. Application layer provides services to the users directly. For example, email is one of the services. Likewise, there are so many services provided to the user. Here the communication is provided by using logical connection in application layer, and the communication is provided using a logical connection, which means two application layers assume that there is imaginary direct connection through which they can send and receive messages. See, this is the example diagram for application layer. Here the logical connection exists between two. One is the research company called Sky Research. Here Sky Research needs to order a book related to her research from an online bookseller called Scientific Books. See, this is the here shown by using the pen. So this is the scientific book, and this is the Sky Research. This Sky Research needs to order a book related to her research from an bookseller called Scientific Books. So here a logical connection. So this is the line. This line denotes the logical connection takes place between these two application layer. This is the application layer of Sky Research, and this is the application layer of Scientific Books. So here a logical connection exists between application layer of sender to the application layer of receiver. So the communication at the application layer is logical. Here communication is logical, not physical. Logical connection exists between the sender and receiver. So Alice and Bob assume that there is a two-way logical channel between them, Sky Research and Scientific Books, so which they can send and receive messages. But the actual communication takes place through several devices. See, here there are several devices. Here logical connection exists between these two, but actually communication takes place through several devices, because this system is connected to one internet service provider, and this is connected to another service provider, and this system sends the message to another service provider likewise. So although there is a logical connection exists between application layer of sender and application layer of receiver, but actual communication exists through the different devices as shown in this diagram. Is it clear? Providing services. All communication networks that started before the internet were designed to provide services to network users. Here most of these networks were originally designed to provide one specific service. For example, suppose telephone networks was designed to provide only a voice service. Telephone network is designed to provide voice service, but later it is also used for many other services. For example, fax. So fax enabled users by adding some extra hardware, that is hardware. Fax devices need some extra hardware at both ends. So originally, this telephone was designed to provide the voice calls, but by adding some extra hardware, it is also used as a fax machine. Likewise, the internet was originally designed for the same purpose, to provide service to the users around the world. Internet is developed to provide the services to the entire world. Here the layered architecture of TCP/IP protocol suite makes the internet more flexible than other communication networks. Internet is more flexible than other communication networks such as postal or telephone networks. Each layer in the suite was originally made up of one or more protocols, because protocol is used for the communication. Without protocols, we cannot able to communicate. Like the languages, suppose we want to communicate with a person in other states, what we need? We need a language. Here language is used to communicate with other state people. Likewise, one system want to communicate with other system, here protocol is needed. Here protocol is acted like a language. So for that only we say protocol as a set of rules. So for internet, TCP/IP is needed. Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol. Without protocol, we cannot able to communicate in a system. So for communication, protocol is needed, must. So a protocol is added to each layer. It should be designed in such a way that uses the services provided by one of the protocols at lower layer. Suppose if the protocol is removed from the layer, so care is taken to change the protocol at next layer. That uses the services of removed protocol. So here each and every layer must have a protocol. Application layer paradiagrams. That is, it is clear that users of internet needs two application programs. One running on a computer somewhere in the world, and other running on another computer somewhere else in the world. So there is the need of two programs used to send messages to each other in the internet. One is client server paradiagram, another one peer-to-peer paradiagram. First one, client server paradiagram. Client server means, what is a client? Client made a request to the server and server responds to the client request. So the client server means it is a there is a two system, like see here there is 3 LANs. Here the system, this is the client machine, and see this blue color, I mark it in blue color. This system shows the server machines. So this is the client machine and this is the server machine. In client server paradiagram, clients make a request to the server. See this arrow denotes a client request to server, and server responds for this client request. Again, so for that purpose only, here two arrows, from client to server and server to client. This dotted line denotes the WAN connection, and this system denotes client machine, and this denotes server machine, and here this red line denotes client server communication, and this is a router. Router is used to connect two networks. That is, it is for routing purposes. It is for path, and in this client server architecture, client made a there are although communication in client server paradiagram is between two application programs, the role of each program is totally different. Here we cannot run a client program as a server program or vice versa. So here in this diagram shows client-server communication, in which here 3 clients communicate with one server. See, this is one of the client and this is another client, and in this LAN also, this is the local. This LAN also consists of one client and server. So here 3 clients need to communicate with one server to receive the services provided by this server. This single server responds to these 3 clients. Do you understand? Is it clear? This server responds for this client to second client, first client, and here third client. So here 3 client made a request to this server, and the server responds for this clients. Next one, peer-to-peer communication. Peer-to-peer communication means direct communication between 2 devices. Here no client, no server. Here direct communication exists between 2 systems. Next, chapter 1, client-server programming. In this diagram, communication at the application layer is between 2 running application programs called a client process and server process. As I have already told, a client means it is a running program that initializes the communication by sending a request. Client means it is sending a request. Server means it provides a response. Server is another application program that that responds to a client request. Application programming interfaces. First subtopics in this client-server programming is application programming interface, API. Here we are going to see how can client process communicate with server process. So client make a request to server, no? How does client make a request to server? So here a computer program is normally written in computer language, that is any client application program. So computer has set of instructions for any mathematical operations or any manipulations or any input output access, so on. Suppose if we need a process to be able to communicate with another process, we need a set of instructions to tell lowest 4 layers of TCP/IP to open a connection, send and receive data from other end, and finally close the connection. So here a set of instruction of this kind is normally referred to as application programming interface. Suppose we want to do any mathematical operations, we have to write a set of instructions. This set of instruction is called a application programming interface. By using this application programming interface only, we make a connection between this client and server. An interface in programming is a set of instruction. This interface is called a application programming interface. There are several APIs designed for communication. One is socket interface. There are several communication exist for communication. First one socket interface, second one transport layer interface, third one stream. Third one, stream. First, socket interface. Here it is the position of socket interface. See, this is the socket interface. So this is the position of socket interface. This is client side. This is server side. This socket interface started in early 1980s. Socket interfaces started in early 1980s. Socket interface is a set of instructions that provide communication between application layer and operating system. This socket interface is the instruction that provides communication between this application layer and operating system. See, here it is operating system and this is the application layer, and the socket interface is used to intermediate this application layer and operating system. So this is used to communicate with one process and another process. Next, here socket is used like socket used the same way as other sources and sinks. This is the sync monitor and keyboard. By using this, we read. Here it is application program, and here sync and sources. This socket. So socket is used like other sources, that is like this keyboard, monitor, file. The socket is also used. Although it is supposed to behave like a terminal or file, it is not a physical entity like them. It is an abstraction. Socket is an abstraction. It is an object that is created and used by application program. Socket வந்து யார் கிரியேட் பண்ணுவானா, அப்ளிகேஷன் ப்ரோக்ராம் எழுதும் போது அதுலயே இது கீபோர்ட், மானிட்டர், ஃபைல் மாதிரி இல்லை. நம்ம அது மாதிரி இது பிஹேவ் பண்ணாலும் சாக்கெட்டுங்கிறது நம்ம ப்ரோக்ராம்ல எழுதுறது தான். ஸோ இது வந்து கீபோர்ட் மாதிரி, மானிட்டர் மாதிரி டிவைஸ் கிடையாது. But it behaves like the keyboard and monitor. It is the application program. Next, here this diagram shows use of sockets in process-to-process communication. Here, use of sockets in process-to-process. Socket is an abstraction, as already told. It is an object created and used by application program. And see, this is client process, this is server process. Here socket is used, and by using this socket, a logical connection exists between this client process and server process. So by using this API, application programming interface, these client machine is communicated with this server machine. Socket address. Here the interaction between client and server is by using two-way communication. In two-way communication, we need a pair of addresses, one for local sender machine and another one for receiver. Receiver is referred to as a remote machine. And also the local address in one direction is the remote address in other direction. Since communication in client-server diagram between two sockets, always communication exists between this client-server diagram is between two sockets. So we need a pair of socket address for communication. One for local socket address and another one for remote socket address. So one for local socket address, another one for remote socket address. So a socket address should first define computer on which client or server is running. Socket address identifies the computers which client machine or server machine. So this address is used to find the client machine or server machine. So it consists of socket address consists of two. One is IP address and another one is port number. IP address means it is the 32-bit integer. IP address is 32-bit integer. It represents the current internet versions. And another one, port number, it is the 16-bit integer. See students, as shown in this diagram, IP address is 32-bit and port number is 16-bit. Port number is 16-bit. And this socket address consists of two parts, IP address and port number. Next, second subtopic, using services of the transport layer. So here a pair of process provides services to the user of internet, human or programs. Pair of process need to use services provided by the transport layer for communication because there is no physical communication at the application layer. No, because it is the logical connection in the application layer. So there are three common transport layer protocols in TCP/IP. One is, first one, UDP, user datagram protocol. Second one, TCP, and third one, SCTP. First, UDP protocol. It is UDP means it provides connectionless, unreliable datagram service. So there is no logical connection between two ends for exchanging messages. It is message oriented. UDP is message oriented. Next, second one, TCP protocol. TCP protocol means it is connection oriented. Always we know TCP is a connection oriented and it is reliable, and it is not message oriented. It is a byte stream service. TCP is a byte stream services. TCP requires two ends. First, create a logical connection so that exchanging some connection establishment packets. So in TCP protocol, first we have to establish a connection between sender to receiver, and then a message is transmitted from sender to receiver. So this is also called handshaking because here is to establish a connection between sender to receiver. So that the other name for this is handshaking process. Next, third one, SCTP protocol. SCTP protocol means combination of these two. Combination of these UDP and TCP is the SCTP, because this SCTP provides a connection oriented reliable service but not byte stream oriented. இது வந்து UDP மாதிரி வந்து மெசேஜ் ஓரியன்டா இருக்கும். TCP மாதிரி கனெக்ஷன் ஓரியன்டாவும் ரிலேபிளாவும் இருக்கும். So it acts as the combination of both the TCP protocol and UDP protocol. Next subtopic is iterative communication using UDP. As we know, UDP is connectionless. An iterative server can process one client request at a time. So here, if one client requests, it receives the request, processes it, and sends the response to the requester before handling another request. இதுல TCP னா கிளையண்ட்டுக்கும் சர்வருக்கும் முன்னாடியே என்ன ஆகும்னா கனெக்ஷன் எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ் ஆயிடும். ஆனா UDP ல என்ன இருக்காது, it is not a connection oriented, it is connectionless. So அப்ப சர்வர் எப்ப வந்து கிளையண்ட் ரெக்வெஸ்ட ப்ராசஸ் பண்ணும்னா, இப்ப கிளையண்ட் ரெக்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணோன்னு சர்வர் அதை வந்து அந்த நேரத்துல ப்ராசஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இட் ரிசீவ்ஸ் தி ரெக்வெஸ்ட், கிளையண்ட் இருந்து ரெக்வெஸ்ட் ரிசீவ் பண்ணிட்டு அதை ப்ராசஸ் பண்ணும் அண்ட் சென்ஸ் தி ரெஸ்பான்ஸ் டு தி ரெக்வெஸ்டர். அந்த கிளையண்ட் ரெக்வெஸ்டர் எந்த கிளையண்ட் வந்து ரெக்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணாங்களோ உங்களுக்கு ரெஸ்பான்ஸ் பண்ணும். எப்பனா பிஃபோர் ஹேண்ட்லிங் அனதர் ரெக்வெஸ்ட், அடுத்த கிளையண்ட்ல இருந்து ரெக்வெஸ்ட்டுக்கு வரதுக்குள்ள இது ரெஸ்பாண்ட் பண்ணிடும். When the server is handling the request from the client, the requests from other clients and even other requests from same client need to be queued at the server side. Suppose இப்ப ஒரு client இருந்து request வந்திருக்கு, server அந்த requestக்கு response பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கு, அதே நேரம் another clientல இருந்து ஒரு request வரலாம், இல்ல அந்த same clientே another request பண்ணலாம். இப்ப நம்ம browserல run பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கும் போது ஒரே டைம் next work செய்வோம் இல்லையா, ஒரு request பண்ணிருப்போம், அடுத்தது நம்ம run பண்ணிட்டு இருப்போம். So அப்ப same clientே another request வைக்கலாம். இந்த எல்லா requestம் என்ன ஆகும்னா server sideல queue ஆயிடும். It is need to be queued at the server side and wait for the server to be freed. ஒவ்வொரு client தான் server என்ன பண்ணும்னா ரெஸ்பான்ஸ் பண்ணிட்டே இருக்கும். So அந்த client வந்து free ஆகிற வரைக்கும் இதெல்லாம் queueல வெயிட் ஆயிட்டு இருக்கும். The received and queued requests are handled in the இங்க received requestம் queued requestம் எந்த பேசிஸ்ல handled ஆகும்னா it is handled in the first in first out fashion. யாரு first request பண்ணாங்களோ அவங்களுக்கு first server response பண்ணும். So in this section we discuss iterative communication using UDP. So see இப்ப நான் சொன்னது அப்படியே இந்த டயக்ராம்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா தெரியும். In this the client and server use only one socket each. Client server socket and the green color denotes this socket. Client server socket ஒவ்வொன்றுக்கும் தனித்தனியா socket created at the serverல உள்ள socket வந்து எப்பவுமே இருக்கும். பாருங்க சேம் socket, ஒரே socket தான் ஸ்டார்டிங்லயே கிரியேட் ஆயிடும். எத்தனை client இருந்து request வந்தாலும் அந்த ஒரே socket தான். ஆனா client பாருங்க ஒவ்வொரு clientக்கும் தனித்தனி socket. இப்ப இந்த clientோட socket create ஆயிடுச்சு, இது serverக்கு request பண்ணிருக்கு, server அதுக்கு ரெஸ்பான்ஸ் பண்ணோன்னு again in the socket enahuna it will be destroyed. So but socket created at the client site is destroyed after client process terminate. If response vandoniye client terminate ஆகணும் இல்லையா, terminate ஆகும்போது this socket will be destroyed. So likewise if another request from another client, so a new socket is created, but server socket remains forever. Fullave இந்த server sockets வந்து இருந்துட்டு இருக்கும். Okay, see this is the flow diagram for iterative UDP communication. இப்ப நம்ம பார்த்த அந்த UDP communication இங்க டயகிராமா பார்க்கிறோம். client இல்லையா, client என்ன சொன்ன, first start, it creates a socket, it creates socket, sends request, receive response. request send பண்ணோன்னு இந்த send requestக்கு நேரா பாருங்க request போகுதா, request போகுது, இங்க வந்து எங்க போகுது, serverக்கு போகுது, server create socket, first serverல என்ன செய்யும், ஃபுல்லாவே socket, same socket, create socket, bind socket, receives request. இப்ப first request receive பண்ணுச்சு அப்படின்னா it handles request and create response. response create பண்ணும், அந்த response create பண்ணிட்டு அது யாருக்கு send பண்ணும், response எந்த client request பண்ணாங்களோ அந்த clientக்கு send பண்ணும். இது infinite loop, கண்டினியூவா ஒர்க் ஆயிட்டு இருக்கும். அடுத்தடுத்த request வந்ததுன்னா அடுத்தடுத்த request response பண்ணிக்கிட்டே இருக்கும் எத்தனை client வந்தாலும். So it repeats, so it is the infinite loop. அதனாலதான் இங்க வந்து இத infinite loopல இங்க கொடுத்திருக்கோம் பாருங்க. Here clientல என்ன சொல்லியிருக்கோம், ரெஸ்பான்ஸ் வந்தோன்னு இப்ப சர்வர்ல இருந்து இங்க client request பண்ணதுக்கு server response send பண்ணுதா, அந்த ரெஸ்பான்ஸ் இங்க clientக்கு வருதா, வந்தோனே handled response, server வந்து response handle பண்ணிட்டு என்ன பண்ணுன்னு சொன்னேன், clientல ஒவ்வொரு டைமும் socket destroyed ஆயிடுமா, so that is given, இங்க கொடுத்திருக்கோம் பாருங்க, destroy socket, socket வந்து destroy ஆயிடும், stop. Next subtitle, interactive communication using TCP. UDP பார்த்துட்டோம். UDP னா it is connectionless. ஆனா TCP னா it is connection oriented protocol. TCP is a connection oriented protocol. Before sending and receiving data, a connection established between the client and server. So although iterative communication using TCP is not very common because it is simpler. See, so this is the client and this is server. This green denotes the socket and this blue denotes the listen socket. Here the TCP server uses two different sockets. இங்க TCP ல UDP ல ஒரே ஒரு socket தான் பார்த்தோம். அந்த ஒரு socket வந்து for both client and server. But in TCP, here this TCP server uses two different sockets, one for connection establishment, another one for data transfer. First என்ன செய்யணும், connection establish ஆகும்னு சொல்லியிருக்கோம். TCP ல முன்னாடியே கிளையண்ட்டுக்கும் சர்வருக்கும் இப்ப இந்த கிளையண்ட்ல இருந்து இந்த சர்வருக்கு கம்யூனிகேட் பண்ணணும், டேட்டா டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா எந்த கிளையண்ட்ல இருந்து சர்வருக்கு டேட்டா சென்ட் பண்ணணுமோ அங்க ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கனெக்ஷன் எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ் ஆகும், அதுக்கப்புறம் தான் டேட்டா டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர் ஆகும். ஸோ அதுக்கு நீங்க ரெண்டு சாக்கெட் யூஸ் பண்றோம். ஒன்னு வந்து எதுக்காகனா கனெக்ஷன் எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ்மெண்ட்டுக்காக, another one for data transfer. See, this is the socket. Here connection established between this client and server. So here server creates a socket and this blue socket வந்து listen socket. First one listen socket னு சொல்லுவோம், second one socket னு சொல்லுவோம். server machineல பார்க்கிறோம். server machineல ஒன்னு வந்து என்ன இருக்கும்னா listen socket, another one socket. listen socket எதுக்கு அப்படின்னாக்கா server uses listen socket to listen for a new client trying to establish connection. இப்போ எந்த கிளையண்ட் வந்து கனெக்ஷன் எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ் பண்ணுதுங்கிறத லிசன் பண்றதுக்காக சர்வர் லிசன் சாக்கெட்டை யூஸ் பண்ணும். ஆஃப்டர் தி எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ்மெண்ட், இப்போ கனெக்ஷன் எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ் ஆயிட்டு, see for this client to the server a connection is established. கனெக்ஷன் எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ் ஆயிட்டுனா server creates a socket. இங்க பாருங்க 2 னு போட்டு செகண்ட் ஸ்டெப் என்ன, கிரியேட். என்ன கிரியேட் பண்ணது, கிரீன் கலர் என்னன்னு சொல்லியிருக்கேன், சாக்கெட். ஸோ சர்வர் எதை கிரியேட் பண்ணுது அப்படின்னா சாக்கெட்டை கிரியேட் பண்ணுது. கிரியேட் பண்ணிட்டு டு எக்ஸ்சேஞ்ச் டேட்டா வித் தி கிளைண்ட் அண்ட் ஃபைனலி டு டெர்மினேட் தி கனெக்ஷன். கிளைண்ட் என்ன ரெக்வஸ்ட் பண்ணியிருக்கோ அதுக்கான ரெஸ்பான்ஸ் பண்ணும், அதை தான் டேட்டா டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர்னு சொல்றோம். டேட்டா டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் என்ன பண்ணணும், கனெக்ஷன் எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ் ஆனதை டெர்மினேட் பண்ணணும். ஸோ டெர்மினேட் பண்றதுக்காகவும் டேட்டா டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர் பண்றதுக்காகவும் இந்த கிரீன் சாக்கெட்டை கிரியேட் பண்ணும். Next, client uses only one socket. Client ஒரு socket தான் யூஸ் பண்ணும், both for connection establishment and data exchange. Data exchangeக்கும் இங்க client sideல பாருங்க இந்த ஒரே ஒரு green இருக்கா, first connection establishment பண்றதுக்கும் அதான், data இங்க receive பண்றதுக்கும் அதே socket தான். ஆனா serverல தான் ரெண்டு, ஒன்னு listen socket. listen socket எதுக்குன்னா connection establishmentக்கு, another one is socket for data transfer and transmission. So this is the information I have told. TCP server uses two different sockets, one for connection establishment and another for data transfer. Here we call first one to listen the socket and second the socket. Server uses listen socket to listen for new client to establish connection. After establishment, server creates a socket to exchange data with client and finally to terminate connection. Client uses, but in client side, it uses only one socket for both data transfer as well as connection establishment. Thank you, students. Today we have learned about the client server programming. Is it clear? I hope you all understand what is client server programming. Thank you.